Evan, let's not tiptoe around it. If systems become genuinely general, able to learn any cognitive task faster and cheaper than most people, the substitution effect could be massive. We've already seen routine work hollowed out by earlier waves of computerization. Robots depressed local employment and wages where they diffused. Scale that up to cognition and you get a real risk of widespread, persistent non-employment. Noah, and yet, the long record of technology points to a different center of gravity. New capabilities don't only replace tasks, they create tasks, new products, services, and business models. Think about how many occupations didn't exist before the internet. Employment is an equilibrium outcome. If productivity rises and we channel it into new demand and industries, the labor market expands rather than shrinks. Evan, that hinge, if productivity gains translate into demand, is exactly what worries me with AGI. If a small number of firms capture most of the surplus and the new products are delivered by the same systems that replace the work, the multiplier into jobs can be weak. The usual escape valve, services, that absorbed displaced labor last time may itself be automatable this time. Noah, some services, yes. But history says capabilities trigger complements, interfaces, oversight, integration, safety, customization, relationship-centric work. Even in high-exposure occupations, people gravitate to tasks AI is bad at or that customers prefer done by humans. And at the firm level, when costs fall, activity expands. If we make it easy to start firms and scale new products, headcount growth follows. Evan, that assumes frictionless transition. People don't teleport from a displaced routine job to a brand new task. They face time without income, missing skills, and thin local demand. If AGI compresses the timeline, years instead of decades, the adjustment margin could be overwhelmed. We could see a surge in non-employment that drags on aggregate demand and then feeds back into fewer jobs created. Noah, then solve for the bottlenecks. You don't passively watch a general-purpose technology roll through the economy, you steer it. 3 levers. 1. Accelerate task creation, R&AMP. D. Entrepreneurship, procurement that pulls new products to market. 2. Boost labor mobility, portable benefits, relocation and training grants, faster credentialing. 3. Sustain demand, automatic stabilizers, investment tax credits for complements, and public ventures into frontier infrastructure. Evan, add a 4th, incentives for human-in-the-loop design. If firms internalize the value of human oversight, safety, liability, brand trust, they'll architect workflows that keep people in the loop rather than ejecting them. But I'm not naive. Competitive pressure will still push toward full automation where feasible. Noah, competitive pressure also pushes toward speed, and people often speed up progress. Hybrid teams routinely beat pure automation in domains that need judgment, tacit knowledge, or empathy. Even with powerful models, aligning outputs to messy real-world contexts is hard. That's fertile ground for jobs if policy clears the path. Evan, we should also be candid about distribution. Even if total jobs hold up, the composition could skew to lower pay unless new sectors with high value add scale quickly. Without wage growth and broad equity, no mass unemployment could still mean widespread precarity. Noah, agreed. That's why complements matter. Tripling the number of AI-enabled firms building differentiated products is what drives good jobs. Think of product innovation, not just process automation. When firms invent things customers will pay for, they hire. Evan, still, the scary scenario isn't impossible. A rapid leap to general capability, firms shedding labor faster than markets can absorb, a glut of displaced workers, and weak policy response. You could end up with a large non-employed population, not because tasks don't exist in theory, but because the tempo beats the adjustment mechanisms. Noah, which is exactly why we should lock in automatic responses now. Make reskilling stipends and wage insurance kick in when local exposure spikes. Pre-permit new industrial space for startups. Fund vouchers for firms to adopt complementary tech that requires human time, deployment engineering, safety, compliance. And keep aggregate demand strong so new firms find customers. Evan, I'll add safeguards. If AGI systems materially raise error or safety risks when unmonitored, require audited oversight ratios, just like staffing ratios in other regulated domains. That keeps a base of employment while capabilities and norms settle. Noah, guardrails plus growth strategy, that's the pairing. The mistake would be to focus only on brakes or only on gas. Do both. Create room for new work and ensure the floor under workers so experimentation doesn't become immiseration. Evan, then we converge on the conditional. AGI could cause mass unemployment, but it's not predetermined. The deciding variables are diffusion speed, the split between replacement and creation, and whether institutions amplify or dampen demand and mobility. Noah, exactly. If we get the portfolio right, task creation, complements, mobility, demand, and fair distribution, the future looks like more and better jobs. If we don't, your scenario gets traction. The technology sets the frontier, policy and entrepreneurship decide the outcome. Evan, last word, then, plan for the worst, build for the best. Price the risk of rapid displacement into policy automatically, and invest ahead of the curve in the engines that make new work. Noah, and keep measuring task exposure, new firm formation, job quality, wage growth. Let the data steer the dials so capability gains translate into human prosperity, not obsolescence.